kids, it's Katie, and this is Paraclete.
Hey guys! So today we're going to be talking about the different parts of a plant cell. So first we're going to start with the cell wall, and the cell wall is a rigid, semi-permeable outer covering of the cell, and they're only found in plant cells, not animal cells. And so the function of a cell wall is to provide support, protection, and storage while also regulating growth and diffusion. One way that diffusion can occur is through the plasmodesmata along the cell wall. And so what they are pores or channels that allow molecules or communication signals to pass through the cell wall to other surrounding plant cells. And it should be kept in mind that plant cells are usually very close together and pretty compact. So the cell wall has a carbohydrate polymer called cellulose, which are these things up here, and it gives the cell wall its very rigid and strong structure. And as you can see, right below the cell wall is the plasma membrane, which is also found in the animal cell. Like an animal cell, a plant cell also has a cell membrane that's made up of a phospholipid bilayer, and so this is what a phospholipid bilayer looks like. And so it has a head, which is polar, which is also water-loving, and then the tails, which are nonpolar, and so that means they're water-hating. In a plant cell, the cell membrane is a thin, semi-permeable layer right under the cell wall, and it also helps support the structure a little bit, and it surrounds the cytoplasm. Next, we have the cytoplasm. And what the cytoplasm is it's a fluid matrix that fills the entire cell. And what it does is it helps maintain the structure of the cell, and it also helps keep all of the organelles suspended in place. And so another thing that it does is it helps move around some materials in the cell, such as ribosomes, which are free-floating. Next, we're going to be talking about the nucleus. So this is a more up-close picture of what a nucleus looks like, and the nucleus contains the cell's hereditary information, which is the DNA, and it also helps control growth and multiplication, and that's due to its RNA. So the nucleus has a nuclear envelope, which kind of works as a cell membrane. It helps keep its structure and everything inside. And then we have the nuclear pores, which are surrounding the nucleus, and what they are they're little channels that allow substances to come in and out of the nucleus. And then this dark spot in the center of the nucleus is the nucleolus, and that's where all the RNA is contained and where protein synthesis occurs. And then we have these chromatin, which are pretty much unwinded strands of DNA. And once the cell is ready for mitosis, or the splitting of the cells, they will then all start to clump together, and then they'll start to become chromosomes. And so now we're going to move on to ribosomes. And ribosomes contain RNA and proteins, and their function is for protein synthesis. And so you can find ribosomes free-floating in the cytoplasm, or you can also find them attached to the rough endoplasmic reticulum. And an interesting thing is that mitochondria and chloroplasts, which we will discuss later, are also found with ribosomes. And now moving on to the endoplasmic reticulum. So the endoplasmic reticulum plays a major role in the production, processing, and transporting of proteins. And so there are two types of endoplasmic reticulum, the rough ER and the smooth ER. So like I mentioned before, the rough ER contains ribosomes on the surface of it, and it helps synthesize proteins, while the smooth ER is a transitional area for transport vesicles. So next we have the Golgi apparatus, and what it does is it collects the cellular material from the endoplasmic reticulum, and it manufactures, warehouses, and ships them off to different locations. And next we have the mitochondria. And what the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. This is a blown-up picture of a mitochondria, and what it does is it turns oxygen and nutrients into ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate, which is then converted into energy. The cool thing about mitochondria is that they also have their own DNA, so they're able to reproduce more in case they need more energy. And now we're moving on to the vacuole. And the cool thing about the vacuole is it's only found in plant cells. And so what it does is it stores nutrients and waste products, and it also helps maintain the structure of the cell. So the plant cells don't increase in size, it's only the vacuole that does. And so when the vacuole is full, that's when a plant would look very lively, very fresh. But when the pressure of the vacuole starts to decrease, that's when the plant will start to wilt or die. Lastly, we're going to talk about the chloroplasts. So this is what a chloroplast looks like up close, and chloroplasts are only found in plant cells. And so the function of a chloroplast is to produce food for the cell. So what the chloroplast does is it converts the sun's energy into sugars in these structures called the stroma. The reason why plant cells have chloroplasts is because they undergo photosynthesis. And what that means is that plants are going to be able to make their own food. They're going to be living off of the sugars that they make. And plants are very important because as a waste product, they release oxygen, and that's the stuff that we as humans breathe. That's how we live. I hope you learned a lot about the different parts of a plant cell. Thanks for watching.